Magic players are beginning to ask that question, what's happening to all the sealed product that is getting flushed into the system? I almost wanted to start this video off with like a flushing toilet, but I decided against it. Instead, I'm going to give you the image of that happening right now. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're only 430 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 20,000 subscribers here on the channel. Couldn't have done it without you guys, and thanks a lot for helping out. So today's discussion, of course, is going to be about what's happening in the sealed market. As an MTG finance guy, I find this a fascinating subject, and I've been following a lot of the data points, and I think I know what's going on, but you guys will help be part of this conversation, kind of like a choose your own adventure, because wherever you are in the world, the answers are going to be slightly different. Number one, Wizards of the Coast is probably got one more good Amazon dump left in them. Maybe even two, pardon me, maybe two if they push it a little bit or thin out what their choices are and which products they choose to offer out. They had a lot of full warehouses. They had a lot of stock available that needed to find a new home. Now, when you look at that fact and then you also realize that distribution still has a lot sitting on the shelves, and we know your local LGS has tons sitting on the shelves, although many of the cheaper ones have been bought up. I'm going to mark that as a point. They have been bought. The ones that were on sale got a lot of purchases made as soon as those play boosters were announced. We haven't even had to deal with them yet. But players are planning for the inevitable by saving some cash now for future draft nights where they can just crack some packs and don't have to worry about a $300+ price tag here in Canada. Crazy stuff. Now, as you look at these products and you realize that the initial sales we saw when the play boosters were announced has slowed down to a trickle, players have exhausted the last boost of money from their wallets to try to get some of the discounted booster boxes, and it's still all there. Don't let that fool you guys. In this world of sealed product, all the players who just boosted and bought a whole bunch of those boxes and said, I'm getting some now, they didn't go ahead and crack it. They're not looking for Sheoldred. They're not opening Streets of New Capenna. They're not going to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty and having a draft night right now. Those players are actually hoping to capitalize. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whenever the market decides to turn around, they're hoping to make some money. But remember this, that sealed product is still out there. It hasn't been opened. It didn't disappear. It's just gone out into an unnamed environment. A closet. A sealed chest of a sort. Maybe a storage locker near you. But it's still out there. That overproduced overstock, it's all still there. Yeah, the odd box may have gotten opened. Maybe somebody cracked a few for fun. But we all know how many are really out there. This problem, it hasn't gone away yet. It's all still sitting out there, hovering above us like a bad habit. Now, Wizards of the Coast cleared their stocks, cleared some stuff out, but distribution, they're not going to mark their prices down that much. Your local LGS, in most cases, they can't take a complete bath on all of it, so it's going to take up store shelf space. To me, this feels like Fallen Empires, the overstock, the overprinting they talked about back in the day. This is that imagery I'm getting whenever I see some of the boxes, even in the background here. When I know I've talked to LGSs, I know how much those stores have. And I saw that recent Rudy at Alpha Investments video, and you saw the stock he's looking at from one person or two people. That's insane. So for all you people out there who are buying sealed product and thinking you're going to double down and make some money later, good for you for trying. I appreciate the effort, but you better be in for the long haul. You better have your credit cards cleared. You better not have any debts outstanding, because it's going to take a long while. It is going to take a very long while. But now let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to today, to this moment in time. On a Friday, checking things out, and you realize that there's still more products coming tomorrow. There's more products coming a month from now. Murders of Karlov Manor. We've still got the collector boxes from Lord of the Rings. We have some all kinds of crazy delays coming for Ixalan for some of the product, but it's still coming. The waves are still crashing with product. and they eventually will recede. They will tighten production runs. They will lower things. I've already know and been hearing that they have been. And there's also the fact that stores are definitely ordering less. That the waves will be culled. They will slow down and become more of a passive surge here and there. And that means the sealed market is likely to stay in this weird limbo gray world of nothingness for probably the next 5 to 9 years. Even if Wizards of the Coast cuts back production, they raise their prices overall. It's still a higher price point. And any speculator investor out there who's thinking to buy into this market, they want to make money at some point. They don't want to sit on dead cash for decades, which likely means we're going to see a lot less sales in sealed boxes. Singles are definitely going to rule the day, and individual products will be based on a product by product basis on the contents of that box. And if Wizards keeps nuking the content, you're going to see less of that too. This is an interesting time where sealed has been doing so well since around 2013, 2014 onward, that now when you've had this huge hit to number one, how players feel about sealed product, the amount we saw hit the markets, the fact that Wizards of the Coast hides these production numbers and doesn't let us know, just gives players more insecurity about the possible investment in sealed boxes. I think for the most part, they probably chased away 90% of the people who are probably buying sealed. It doesn't mean there's not people out there, but they're not willing, unless they have cash to burn, to just sit on stuff, to sit on it and say, I don't care if it does anything. I just want to own some. Those people are very few and far between. So the hit to the sealed market is massive. And over time, you're going to see with what we saw with Wizards of the Coast being downgraded, like Hasbro getting those downgrades, you are going to see more of that coming around in the market space, that they're going to have more negative runs over time. It won't happen right away, guys, but you'll notice it. Unless they find other ways, like the Marvel, crossover type stuff, those will give me some pick-me-ups on individual years. But the issues with the players have not been resolved for the most part. Yeah, we're calm at the moment. We like some of the new products. I mean, Ixalan looks amazing. I gotta say that Wilds of Eldraine was pretty decent. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but pretty decent. And some of the upcoming sets just look amazing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go out and start buying sealed boxes again. The Moxman's not stepping into that realm really, other than maybe the odd box here or there, because I want one to hold on to in my old age. I know I'm halfway there already, but for my later years, playing with Mini Mox, when he's like a grown man saying, why are you still playing this game? That's going to be me, with a few boxes in the backdrop saying, we can play one every month for years. Just saying. Those are those types of people at that point. But the sealed market, and the idea that people think they're going to get rich. You can think what you want, but the numbers are against you. It's all against the players right now. And Wizards of the Coast would love nothing more than to have people like Rudy hype up product, buy some, buy some, buy some. Having stores getting discounted prices possibly in the future instead of an Amazon dump to push more product out the door to help shore up some of the losses that this company is going to receive. But the problem really comes down to, if it's not investable in a collectible, then why are they charging so much for game pieces? Why does it cost so much for a box of cards? I can go to the dollar store and buy a deck of playing cards. I could write stuff on. I could do printouts. There are so many options now that Wizards really needs to be careful. They need to build up that collectible status for sealed to ever be worth anything. We've been talking about a long time on this channel about an expansion of the reserve list to let some of the older boxes have shored up value, to make sure there's something there for players to want to invest in, so when they go forward with new products, they know that a couple of cards are going on the reserve list all the time, which can generate revenue for the company up front, because you got new boxes that will be reserve list at some point with some of the cards. I'm just saying Wizards has a lot of work to do in their PR category and their marketing going forward. There will be hits, but there's a lot more drawbacks than forward momentum right now. Does that make sense? It just seems like everyone's still kind of hesitant. All the stores I talk to are drawing back. There's even some of the bigger stores that are really not happy with some of the stuff they've still been stuck with, and some of the new products coming up that they're worried about the increased prices, so they're being very conservative in how much they've decided to order. But I'd like to know, how do you feel in your choose your own adventure option? Are you guys seeing increased sales, lowering sales? Are stocks dwindling, or are they kind of staying the same? What are you hearing? What do you know? This is what I want to know, guys. Share that information here on the channel. Drop some comments in the comments section. I want to thank you all for stopping by today. I hope you had a good time. Remember, sealed product, you can look on other YouTube channels. You can hear what they're saying. But from what I'm getting and all the data points I look at from all the stores, it's going to be dead for a long time. There's just too much out there for a lot of this product. So it's going to be on sale and cheap for the most part for years to come. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, looking forward to reading those comments in the comment section. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow is the top 10 Modern edition of sales. We're going to see the hottest selling cards in Modern. Can't wait to see you guys there tomorrow morning, 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. Guys, have a great one. A big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons we have here on the channel supporting each and every day. Because of them, daily uploaded content for everyone to enjoy. Thanks again for that support. My patrons, my YouTube membership members, you. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Thanks for stopping by. You've made it to the end. That special place. Bridge to Terabithia style. The Triffids. Chrysalids? You guys remember those books, right? I'm going back old school, man. Yeah, we read those in school. Anyway, guys, sealed boxes. Like, I'm glad I've got mine still. I don't care. They're all bought and paid for. Doesn't matter what happens anymore. If they go up, fantastic. If not, I got a lot of cracking in my later years. But the point is, Wizards has killed the secondary market value of so many cards that the boxes can't really recover. They can't recover because they've reprinted too much equity. And they never promised that they would protect these, did they? They never promised that. So we have nobody to blame but ourselves for being naive. But at the same time, we like the set. You want to open it later? Yeah, it's better to buy a box when it's cheap. And that's where things fell apart. The boxes aren't cheap anymore. They're not cheap. This is an expensive hobby now. It's getting to be an expensive hobby. And you'll say, yeah, before it was expensive, Moxman, but it didn't have to be. You buy a box for 89 bucks, you could get by just fine. But now, 300 plus, going higher. Modern Horizons 3, I bet you is $650, all the way possibly to $699 Canadian. I know, crazy to think about, but that's where I think things are headed. I think they know they got a footing there if they put a good set together. Either way, crazy stuff. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here on the Ramble Jamble. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And yeah, shop smart, shop as smart.